Yeah.
It's a storm of historic proportions that has crippled America's biggest city. A huge tidal surge flooded the streets and hurricane-force winds caused chaos. We've seen explosions. This spectacular blast was at a Manhattan power station. It plunged much of the city into darkness. And we've seen raging fires. 50 homes have been destroyed here in a fire which spread rapidly thanks to the storm's ferocious winds. It has been a 24 hours, the likes of which New York has perhaps never seen before. We went out at the height of the storm and were met with a dramatic and eerie urban landscape. New York is a proud symbol of human nature at its most resilient. But when up against Mother Nature at her most determined, all bets are off. This was our drive into the city ahead of Sandy's unflinching eye. The Brooklyn Bridge at rush hour. The Freedom Tower, built to replace the toppled World Trade Center, almost finished, but now slapped by winds. As night fell and the sea rose, reminders everywhere that Manhattan is, after all, just an island. The city had become incontinent with the element that surrounds it. The mouth of the Battery Tunnel and most of the famous subway system filled with water. The waterboarding of an iconic city. And adding insult to injury, a massive power cut. Enforced darkness for a place that never sleeps. The only lights on belong to the police. The rest of Lower Manhattan has been plunged into darkness. And this is a Monday night. Wall Street just down there, Ground Zero in front of me, the West Side Highway has been turned into a river. This is not what you expect from the world's richest and supposedly most sophisticated city, but such is the power of Mother Nature.
Boss, can you get out of there? Can you get out? Can you get out?
In the darkness, policemen looking for anyone still trapped in their buildings. Or some taking too many risks while rescuing the dispensable. Or just trying to get rid of the water, even as it was still coming in. One bucket at a time, huh?
Yeah.
Up, When is the last time you saw Manhattan in this state?
9/11 was the worst I've seen. That's the worst thing. And this is the second worst thing. Don't mess with Mother Nature, that's correct. Don't mess with Mother Nature.
And if you don't mess with her, try serenading her. We came across Nathan, the baritone. Erie doesn't do it justice. Round the corner, Ground Zero. The hole at the heart of Lower Manhattan, now filling up with water. The morning after, a disheveled city. First stop, Wall Street. Guess what? 9:30 in the morning precisely. Time for the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange behind me. Except there won't be one today, for the second day running, thanks to Sandy. The world's financial capital, paralyzed by Mother Nature. What do you do?
I trade equities, so...
You trade equities, but not today.
Not today, although I am monitoring, and that's why I need juice on my iPhone so I can see what's going on in the overseas markets, so that's when I'm gonna...
Because the markets never sleep, even if the city is now without power.
That's correct. That's correct.
Got to carry on making that money.
Isn't that what it's all about, unfortunately?
Then onto the Lower East Side, a neighborhood where they don't trade equities. Juanita has lost her car. She's too upset to talk to us. Irma is still reeling from the night before. What was it like last night? Describe last night.
Very, very scary. And hearing the explosions happening all around here.
From the power plant?
From the power plant. And the swaying of the building. And then looking out my window and seeing the cars bopping down Avenue C.
Like toys.
Like toys, exactly.
The power plant's still dormant, 1 million people still without electricity, and Halloween a day early. A city shut down and cut off for 2 days and counting. New York's stand, not its last, but one of its least elegant. So as you can imagine, after all that, Sandy's name is mud in this city. And I leave you with one final iconic image of a city that's full of iconic images, and that is this fleet of the famous yellow cabs of New York submerged by the waters of the Hudson River today. That is the way it feels here.